Greetings, friends. It's good to be with you. I'd like to begin this message with a wonderful favorite poem of mine written by Robert Morgan, the great Iowa poet. It's called Bell Rope. The line through the hold in the dank vestibule ceiling ended in a powerful knot worn slick, swinging in the breeze from those passing. Half an hour before service, Uncle Allen pulled the call to worship, hauling down the rope like the starting cord of a motor, and the tower answered and answered, fading as the clapper lolled aside. I watched him before Sunday school heave on the line as on a well rope, and the wheel creaked up there as heavy buckets emptied out their startle and spread a cold splash to farthest coves and hollows, then sucked the rope back up into the loft, leaving just the knot within reach, trembling with its high connections. Trembling with its high connections. Some of you know that on the day that Martin Luther King died, I went to the church of my childhood and broke every rule by tolling the bell without permission. And hundreds of people came from all over the neighborhood, and we wept and sang together. When the verdict was announced last week, this week, it's still fresh. When the verdict in the Chauvin case was announced, Barbara and Karen and I went to the bell rope, and we sounded the bell out over the neighborhood. We wanted to ring the bell of freedom. We wanted to announce to the world that we felt that accountability had been served. Our great Attorney General, Keith Ellison, who led the prosecution team in the Chauvin case, made a very clear distinction in the speech he gave following the verdict between accountability and justice. Accountability being a momentary reality where a person is held accountable, and justice being, as Paul Tillich said, the work of love in community. Justice begins when we really truly recognize there are no other people's children. And then yesterday, Jan and I had the distinct honor to be among those invited to attend Dante Wright's memorial service at Shiloh Temple in Minneapolis. And there's so much that can be said about that experience. But basically, the most important thing to remember from that experience was the lawyer, Ben Crump, who Al Sharpton calls the Attorney General for Black America, reminding us that just as white people look at their children and think about the future and take great joy in the possibilities that emerge as they recognize their particular talents, their particular brilliance, the way they shine, black people feel the same way. There are genuinely no other people's children. We were invited to attend the homecoming because a preacher from North Carolina, a wonderful man named Greg Drumright, got a hold of us last week and said, I was supposed to preach live stream in a church in Minneapolis and they had to cancel. Is there any way in the world you can allow me to preach from your pulpit on this coming Monday night? And we didn't know him from Adam, but he had asked one of our colleagues in Louisville, where he preached following a recent killing there, if she would contact us and recommend him. And she did, and we got the recommendation, and thank goodness our tech team is flexible and likes to say yes whenever they can. So we were able to say yes. We said yes despite some lingering doubts. We didn't know what we were getting into. We didn't know him from, as I said, from Adam. And he came and he did a beautiful job, and his tone was universalist in nature. He's a Christian universalist. He was here, as it turns out, to support the Floyd family, to be here to support Ben Crump and his team. And so, in gratitude, he put us on the guest list as Ben Crump's guests. So we were able to be part of this magnificent experience, this gathering not only of grief and celebration, not only a homecoming for Dante Wright, but also a gathering of the families of the slain. There were representatives there from Emmett Till's family, from the Clark family. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend came in. Mother Valerie Castile, Philando's mom, was there, and 1,000 other people. And it was a transcendent and transformational experience. I want to remind you that being able to say yes is one of the hallmarks of serving this great congregation. The capacity of clergy, without a whole lot of deliberation or permission needed, to be able to take risks, to say yes. We said yes to Greg Drumright. Greg Drumright then said yes to us. And it was a rich, inspiring moment when we had just an inkling of the difference between accountability, for which we are deeply grateful, and justice, which is still at the heart of the ministry that we engage in the world and that calls to us now and always. Say yes, friends. Live it out. Take it home.